Hey everyone, it's Mad, and where's Goo? Oh, here's Goo. What are you doing? Oh, you're leveling up? Oh, that's right, the talent flower in Japan. Stay tuned. Alright, so the flowering door, and this is a Japan only thing, and I know I don't really try and cover Japan for you guys, instead focus on global, but this is such a large increase that you're going to really want to know about this. Now, it's about 5 to 6 months away, so we still got plenty of time before this happens. But it is the new difficulty quest introduced into Japan. The current max stage is 40, and the highest CP of 40 stage is around 41,000 CP. Now, you're going, whoa, uh, this is going to take a few months for a lot of the Japan players to beat, and on top of that, you're going to actually be able to drastically increase certain units, and almost all of these units are old units, and we're going to go over those today too, so that you can understand what the at least the initial units are. And they have rank 7, so units can get up to 120. And I would say the average person CP is probably in the 22, 23,000s at this point. And you can get much higher now if you go through the flowering door. This thing resets every month, and some content creators might be a little down where there's less quote unquote content. The reason is say you get to level 25 at the end of this month if you're playing in Japan. The next month you start on level 20. You will automatically get levels 1 through 19 on July 1st, and then you work your way back up again. So I have to say, Square, you guys did a very, very good job in making sure that people aren't doing stuff that they can do very quickly and easily, and to trying to make something where I think is fun, has some grind to it, but isn't super grindy. um, in itself, the first time going through it might be grindy because each level there's usually a theme to beat with it. I'm just going to use examples here. Stage 15 is very weak to crackle, 16 is very weak to frizzle and sizzle spells. Just to give you an example of what's going on here. There's also a new daily for the talent points as well. This allows you to open up the skill tree you can see right here. And I'll go through the units that have these skill trees. Alright, so Dragon Lord is the only limited S rank unit that is getting the Flower Awakening or the skill tree right now. But honestly, other than maybe Dread Dragon, I think it was the only limited unit that kind of needed some initial buffing. That would really make it a super great unit without like a redo of the kit. And even so, I think Dread Dragon just needs a lot of help. Anyways, but first, the first skill that Dragon Lord can learn, or the new skill, is an incredibly powerful ZAM spell damage. It's called Dark Pillar. Uh, it has, once again, it's Dragon Lord. He just knows how to use MP. Does MP consumption of 120, but look, it can do 5, and it will do ZAM damage to all enemies within range. So it's no longer just frizzle my nizzle, baby. He can also now do ZAM damage. Very, very powerful skill. Also, each unit can get up from 4 to 6 talent traits. Most of them will be 4. There's 1 or 2 units that get a little bit more. Uh, so the first one he also gets is HP and MP recovery. It's the first one is once for 3 turns. If he gets hit under 75% HP, he will heal HP and gain more powerful magic for 3 turns. Second one is occasionally restore MP to try and help out with the MP. Third one is reduce MP overall and increase power. And the fourth one is HP plus 50. So, all in all, I think they did a really good job with Dragon Lord. Now he has two elements, very powerful elements within himself. The ability to actually self-heal, they really boosted his power and try to help out with all the MP that he uses up. So I really am happy for this skill. Another one is Great Dragon. I will say this. They made Great Dragon great again, and it is incredibly impressive. One thing that they did was this is not part of it, but they made the breath skills more powerful. So the fan skills are the same power, but they made the rest of the breath skills better. They made the Great Dragon, though, so much better. So he has talent trait of 20 and 15% increase in crackle breath damage, and that's not including his leadership trait either. His movement can be increased by +1, and his new skill, Fubuki, which is a fan, causes a huge amount of crackle damage. Basically, he becomes very powerful and very similar to Dragon Lord True Form with that +1 movement, except it's forever at this point, has 35% more crackle breath without factoring in his leadership skill. Has that large AoE fan, and I think from a power level he has really gotten much stronger and is at the very least now in Japan equal to Dragon Lord True Form, and if you actually put him as the leader, he actually becomes stronger because Dragon Lord True Form is not a dragon, so it doesn't get that extra breath damage. Still, breath isn't perfect. I think they need to still bump it up the damage just a little bit more, but it's been greatly improved, and the Great Dragon now is actually very, very good. The next unit here is Prism Peacock. The new skill, Karma Dragon, does incredibly large AoE frizz damage around himself. Has the ability to get +1 movement, and has the ability to increase its own frizz power by 20%. Also gives you two skills of HP plus 50 for 100 more HP, which actually for Prism Peacock is a pretty large increase. Not nearly as great as Dragon Lord or Great Dragon, but the first power by 20% definitely does up the damage a bit, and I do like the +1 movement as well. Anytime a unit gets +1 movement, it's always a really big deal. Squidzilla. Very interesting upgrade. Not sure how truly great Squidzilla is, though. And I'll talk about this a little bit more in detail. First, though, the skill, Scud Tackle, Bang, finally get some range on our big, thick boy here, Squidzilla. And also will bring movement enemies to you. This skill is perfect for Squidzilla. I do absolutely love it. It is fantastic. Increases physical power plus 15%. Very well needed. Gave him 50 more HP, which is good. And agility plus 40, which is actually a huge increase for him. I actually would have rather have seen agility plus 40 twice instead of HP plus 15, agility 40. Because his full HP movement plus 2, it would be really nice if he was in the 250s, 260s agility instead of the 220 range that he would be if you fully awakened him. That movement plus 2 is absolutely huge, but you gotta keep his HP at 100%. So either you need a healer or it's only going to be useful for 1 or 2 turns, but at the very least, he can do something with that 100%. He can move, and he has that one range skill as well. He has been greatly improved. I'm not sure enough, but at least Squidzilla is much more useful. Now, Metal Dragon. Oh, this is a unit that I'm really excited for. He can occasionally double team with the missile, and it's a large physical damage that will lower defense occasionally if he's within range. So basically, if he can help kind of like someone else attacks, he can almost do a team attack randomly. This doesn't happen very often, but it's really interesting now that it does. You can get +1 movement and gets 80 agility. And all of a sudden, Metal Dragon, and I do like this missile, it does heavy physical damage and lowering defense on top of it. I think it's very important and very good overall. So, very, very happy with all the improvements here on Metal Dragon. I think they made Metal Dragon very, very useful. And they had an idea what Metal Dragon can do and what should do, and I think they did a good job here. Now there's some A units, B units, and so forth, and I'll go through them quickly too that get the upgrades. The first one's Wertois. Reduces ZAM cost by 10%. You can randomly get Reflect at the beginning of a turn, and you get a very large increase in agility of 60. And he has actually a good physical damage in AoE as well, but still he's a good tank. And now with the 60 agility, he's got more speed, so you can try and go first earlier. All in all, I really think that they did a very good job with the Wertois. And now he can also randomly get Reflect. Wow. Wow. Very nice tanky boy. Not much else to say. Do like a lot. So if you can upgrade your Wertois, I would definitely do that. Gigantes. Very, very interesting upgrades here. Large increase in agility, can get 60. Can get 120 more HP. He has 6 talent traits. And also can movement +1. His new skill, Ultra Stamp, does a pretty large amount of AoE as well. He is a very physical bruiser, and when I mean bruisers, if he plays a real-time arena, they're units that do damage that have a lot of HP/defense combined. He's not truly a tank like some other units, but he can do some decent damage and take a lot of punches. So they definitely increased that and gave him some more agility on top of it, and that movement +1 actually really, really benefits him. Wertois is much more exciting for me than Gigantes, but still, it's a very good buff for Gigantes. Striking Sabercat, very interesting. They really went for damage. At full HP, gains a very large damage increase of 20%. Has higher physical frizz damage and less MPUs for all skills. A very large increase in agility overall. It has a new skill, Flame Dragon, which does a very large AoE physical damage. It just made him to a pretty good frizz damage unit. Be very useful for some of the trials so that you can awaken units because he's so strong in frizz, and that's going to be one of those units that you're going to want to focus on for that. And also for a lot of EX battles, you'll be using Striking Sabercat if the enemies are very weak to frizz. And they need to be hit with a physical attack, because I have a sneaking suspicion that Reflect on bosses are going to be more and more common as time goes on. For Bees, the first one's Skeleton Soldier. If you can defeat an enemy, it increases your attack. Movement +1 gives you more bang power. And agility +20. The bang physical damage here with the range of 1 for AoE. Bakurun Iron Sword is a pretty good skill. We're talking about B units here. You're going to be going with the A. So basically, you got 3 tiers of items. You'll be able to upgrade I believe it's A and B, or it's S and A. I got to go back again, but you get different tiers, so you'll be upgrading a couple of different units overall. And so Skeleton Soldier is going to be one that you'll probably have maxed fairly quickly. The next one is the Great Saber Cat. Very interesting unit. The less HP it has compared to its max, the more damage it will do, and also it gets a little bit more agility. So the first one, HP less than 50, gives you more attack and agility increase. HP 30 gives you an additional 20% damage on top of it. So you really want to try to keep the Great Saber Cat at around 25% HP, but then it basically becomes a liability as well. Has a whoosh power plus 10 and then defense plus 40. Its new skill, Tornado Claw, is a nice whoosh physical damage AoE that can also lower defense. All in all, it's an interesting unit, but honestly, I don't like how low the HP is you've got to go to get these stats. For the C unit, first one's Bodkin Fletcher. I will be honest, this is actually a very good unit now, especially for a C class. Poisonous Drug basically means that it can occasionally poison on a normal attack or any attack, so it is very good in that regards, and it gives a plus 10 success on top of it if you upgrade. So along with the Hell Gladiator, if you put that as your leader, all of a sudden you really start landing a lot of poison, and also with the new skill Arrow, Venomation. And so this unit I see a lot of potential in boss battles with. This is a unit you're going to want to focus on, and in global, make sure that you have it fully maxed out, fully HP'd, fully leveled, because this is going to be a very good unit. And it's a budget unit that you can focus on. Drachma is just like Boykin, except it's based off sleep, and also gets bang spell power, gets a small increase in agility. The new skill, Compressed Iola, is basically a larger bang skill for Drachma. A lot less interesting compared to the Boykin, but sleep still has its uses. So it is still another unit that you're going to want to at least get the Drowsy spell and the sleep success on top of it. It's really nice because the Drowsy spell, basically you cast a spell, it can occasionally sleep. Very, 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 very interesting unit. But it's very niche, but I could still see it being used on trials. Now we go into the D, Slime Knight here. I'm a little disappointed on this one. The Mahad very good crackle damage, 270%. But the talent traits, attack is increased when a ally is defeated. I kind of wished it was something else. I always see a Slime Knight as someone who's more of a defender than an attacker. I don't see it getting enraged when someone dies, but that's just me. The movement plus 1 is nice, and 2 attack plus 20s are okay. I mean, it's a D unit, nothing too super special. But I'm not a huge fan of you gain attack when an ally is defeated. I don't know, it just seems not in character. The Great Saber Cub, actually, I like this better than some of the other upgrades here. Gives you a attack up randomly, gains large attack, and the Storm Claws actually does a pretty large whoosh damage. All in all, actually, this is not a bad upgrade. For E's, we got Lick Spittle. So this is your Paralyzer. So it has Numb Breath, so when you use a breath skill, it will occasionally also paralyze. Just like Sleep, has its uses occasionally, but it's niche. Gets plus 1 movement and agility plus 20. I think that's really good for this unit. This unit's all about its breath skills. You want speed, and having the Numb Breath is nice, and having a little bit more paralyzed success on top of it. They did a good job, but it's just very niche. Heal Slime. Really interesting. So the talent trait, you can occasionally recover MP. You get 15% healing, 2 wisdoms, movement. Sorry, this is a skip here. I didn't update. The fighting behemoth, large HP recovery, and increase attack for a unit. It also buffs. Very, very impressive upgrades. The heal slime is actually useful, and might actually become a arena staple for 10 weight. Very, very, very great upgrades for an E unit. So I actually kind of expect heal slimes to be on arena teams for a while, just because of that upgrade. The F unit's Ghost can occasionally stun when casting a spell, so it doesn't do a lot of damage, but that stun can really turn the tide of a battle for you. It can also randomly assist with a spell of Zam if it's within range as well, which then can stun. And so if you can get really lucky. Ghosts are well known to be. I've got 5. Wait. Oh, let me put a ghost in. Put a heal spell. Now you've also got a stunner with the ghosts. The Zam spell, Dokuma, which is a more powerful Zam spell, inflicts Zam spell damage on one target. Also gets a wisdom of 20. And the last unit is Goo here, Slime. I'm sorry, Goo. They did you dirty. For the talents, the talent trait, you occasionally get counterattack. You get HP 50 and HP 20 increased stats, HP plus 20. But man, I know I've been feeding you spicy foods, but the new skill will take up a lot of its MP, but it does a massive amount of damage. Breath based, and it's an F skill, so it's not nearly as strong because the level limitations of F, but it still does a very high amount of damage from a F unit here. It wastes all of its mana in the one skill, but it does have a decent amount of power for that level. But all in all, still, fortunately, you're a goose slime, but you're just a slime, unfortunately, buddy. So these are the 18 units right now that are getting buffs. I just kind of want everybody to understand in global that there are increases coming down the line. Very, very interesting. And a lot of these units are going to become pretty powerful. And so if you have, and I'm going to go up a little bit here, like a metal dragon that's 3 hearts and you're free to play and you're a little bit despondent, don't worry, the metal dragon's going to get a lot better. Yes, it's going to take a little while, but also the great dragon is definitely getting a pretty good upgrade as well. So there's upgrades coming with the units that are off banner that we can get that are S rank. So don't panic too much. You will start seeing some much stronger content that you'll be able to defeat. Yes, it's going to be a few months away, but I kind of just want to put this in the view of everybody because these are huge changes, and I do expect a lot of other units to also get these bonuses as well. So that should be some top tier stuff for everybody. I hope everyone's doing well. Please like and subscribe. You can also visit me on twitch.tv/MattGuru and also patreon.com/MattGuru. I will be posting some more content up this weekend, but this just came out yesterday in Japan, and I kind of wanted to showcase this for everybody because it's not something that we have to truly prepare for, but it's nice knowing that some of the units that were frustrated and have benched start becoming more powerful again. So might help out start planning on some of those iridescent orbs. Maybe if you don't know which unit to use because your top 2 units are now S6, maybe you'll start thinking about some of the other stuff as well. Alright everyone, you guys be safe, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.